Hi turkeys, Mr. Warholic here again with another social studies lesson. One thing I forgot to mention in yesterday's lesson was that we will not be doing any science this week. I'm going to use this whole week to finish our social studies unit on economy. Yesterday I chose a book called Working in a Community, and that book featured lots of different types of jobs and demonstrated how they help people in a community. I chose that book to remind you that people need jobs to earn money. I also wanted to get you thinking about what type of business you might want to develop for your coach project. Today, we are going to read a book called Who's Buying, Who's Selling? Understanding Consumers and Producers. We're going to review a little bit about what a consumer is, what a producer is, what buyers and sellers are, talk about cost and benefit, and supply and demand. All economic principles that you really need to understand before you start creating your business. Tomorrow, when we come in together, I will give you the planning document and I'm going to walk you through starting to plan your own business. And then on Thursday, we're going to talk about how to make the coach project where you actually build the storefront for your business. Now, today's book is coming from a website called Epic Books. I think most of your teachers have shared with you the way to log into and access this resource. It's just an online resource of digital books, both fiction and nonfiction. If your teacher didn't share that with you, please let me know. You can drop into my office hours to let me know or send me an email, and I will help you figure this out just so you have an extra resource to read books at home. As I said, today's book is a nonfiction book. Right here has the front cover of what this book would look like. Gives a little description right here. Consumers, producers, buyers, and sellers all provide things that other people want and need. How do they work together in the marketplace? I know Miss Geese was working with you a little bit on nonfiction books yesterday, so I'm going to review just some of the text features that can help you understand the book. Right here in the blue, we have the table of contents. The table of contents is just a little tool that gives readers a glimpse into what the book is going to be about and what page they can find information. So for instance, consumers can be found on page 6. Cost and benefit can be found on page 22. I wonder, can you tell, just say out loud, what page would I find supply and demand? Hopefully you said page 26. That's where I could turn to find about supply and demand. All right, I'm going to read this book for you again. While I'm reading this book, I want you to think about, what business do you want to own? Do you want to own a bakery? Do you want to own a veterinary hospital? Do you want to be a dentist? Do you want to own a jewelry store? Do you want to own a landscaping company? You need to start thinking about what it is that you want, because you need to think about who will your consumers be, who are the producers, what will the supply and demand be? For instance, if I had 15 ice cream stores all in one block, like say North Hill Shopping Center, the supply would be really high, and I'm not sure every store would see a huge demand, so they wouldn't make that much money. These are all things that we have to consider when we start thinking about the type of business that we want to have. All right, let's get into the book. Consumers. The treats at this bakery smell good. This boy buys a cookie. He buys one for his sister too. When you buy something, you are a consumer. A consumer buys goods and uses services. So here I have a picture of that boy and his sister enjoying a cookie. And right here in blue is another text feature called a caption. And that just gives you a little bit more information about the picture. It says, these consumers are enjoying the cookies they bought. Now over here to the next page, a good is something we touch, such as a bike. A service is something someone does for another person. A person who fixes bikes provides a service. So I want you to look at this business right here, because maybe that someone will want to do open up a bike shop for their business. Does this business just provide a good? Does this business just provide a service, or does it do both? Just something for you to think about. I would say it provides both. The goods are the different bikes and the bike parts that the man sells. The service is helping people figure out the right bike for them, and then bicycle repair, as another service. All right, next page. Producers. Where do goods and services come from? People have jobs making goods and providing services. All right, here is a picture of a man with some cows, and the caption says, dairy farmers provide a good. They raise dairy cows. The cows produce milk. And then on the next page is a related good and service from the dairy farm. Someone who makes a good or provides a service is called a producer. This man is making a good. He is making cheese. So he is using the good that the dairy farmer makes, the milk from the cows, to turn it into some yummy cheese. And then he can turn and sell it to people. Producers need resources to make goods and provide services. Resources are the things producers use to create goods and services. The capture is pointing right here to the board that the man is carrying. Wood is an example of a resource. Wood and nails are resources a builder uses to make a house. A screwdriver and a wrench are resources used to fix a bike. These blueberries are a resource for a baker. Producers decide what to make with the resources they have. A baker has lots of blueberries. She decides to make blueberry pies. Buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers depend on each other. People need food and clothes. They need a place to buy them. Sellers provide many things we want, need, and want. This house painter is selling a service that people want. He's painting the house so they don't have to do it themselves. Sellers depend on buyers too. When you buy a good or a service, the seller earns money. Sellers use the money they earn to buy the things they need and want. Right here in this picture here, there are two women with some shopping bags, and the caption says, this woman earned money by selling new homes to families. She can use the money to buy things that she needs. The price is the amount of money people pay for a good or service. The seller decides the price. The grocery store worker makes sure the prices on food are correct. If the price is too high, no one will buy it. If the price is too low, the seller might not earn enough money. In this picture here, it shows a basket of clothing and it says $10, sale. The caption asks, the clothing is priced for $10. Do you think it will sell? Why or why not? Just something to think about as we go through this book. Anywhere people buy and sell goods and services is called a market. Consumers make choices about what to buy in the market. Caption says people are selling goods in this open air market. Different farmers are all selling apples. How will you decide which ones to buy? You might decide based on the price, or you might decide to buy apples that taste the best to you. Cost and benefit. Consumers think about the cost when they buy something. The cost is what we give up. We give up money and the chance to buy something else. This girl is thinking about the cost of buying this new bike. Consumers also think about the benefits of spending their money. A benefit is what we gain when we buy something that we need or we want. She decided the benefits of the bike were greater than the cost. We all make choices about what to buy. You might need new pencils for art class, but maybe you also want to buy a toy. What are the costs of buying pencils? What are the benefits? What are the costs and benefits of buying a toy? So here I see this fun looking Slinky, and the caption says, if you buy the toy, you won't have the money left over to buy the pencils you need for art class. Supply and demand. It's a hot day and you are thirsty. You see just one lemonade stand. The demand for lemonade is high. Lots of people want it. They have only one place to get it. The seller can set a high price for lemonade. On another hot day, you see a lot of lemonade stands. The supply is high. That means there is a lot of lemonade. Sellers can't set the prices too high. You can find a good deal on lemonade. Right now, supply and demand, boys and girls, is something that every adult is dealing with when we go to the grocery store. The demand for things like toilet paper, meat, eggs, dairy products is really high right now because everybody's home and eating at home. And that means that the supply is very low. Might not get some of the things that you want when you go to the grocery store, and then you've got to think about what you can do instead. When you have a chance, talk to your mom or dad or whoever does the grocery shopping for your family. Have they had any problems with supply and demand? Have they always been able to get the things that they need? Or has the supply been too low and they've had to make do until they can get back to the grocery store at a later date? Might be interested to find out their answers. All right, we're going to quickly talk about this activity, costs and benefits. A little boy named Max needs help deciding what to do with $10. He wants to buy a kite, and the kite costs $10, but he also wants to buy his brother a birthday present. That would cost $7. What are the benefits of each choice? What are the costs? Max has already started a list of costs and benefits. Can you think of other costs and benefits for Max to add to the list? So let's take a look at what my friend Max here has thought about. Kite, $10. The cost is he would spend all his money on just that one thing, and he wouldn't have any money left over to buy his brother a birthday present. The benefit is he has the kite that he really wants. Now let's look at the birthday present. That'll cost $7. The cost to Max would be that he doesn't get the kite that he wants, but the benefit is his brother would be happy and he would have some money left over to buy something else. What do you think Max should do? Should he just spend the money on himself and buy the kite and forget about his brother? Or should he take that $10, buy his brother a present, and then use the money left over to buy himself something smaller, or save that money and start saving up again to get another $10 so he can buy the kite? What would you do? When you have a chance, talk to your mom or dad or brother or sister and tell them what choice you would make. All right. Here we have the glossary, and again, a glossary is another text feature. It tells you some of the words in the book, so if you didn't know what resources were, for example, you can turn to the page, go down to the R's, find it, resource, things used to create goods or services. It also gives you some examples of other books that you can read on this title. And if I flip a little bit more, it shows the index. So you can find consumer. I can go, oh, yep, there's the word consumer. Oh, they talked about that on pages 6, 20, and 23. So I can go back and reread that if I need to have a clearer understanding of what a consumer is. And then right here, there's a whole other book series or other books on the topic of economy. So if you are interested and you have an Epic Book account, you could click on one of these books and learn more about money. When you are done, you have a quick little seesaw activity to go ahead and do. You're just going to tell me whether someone is you're going to read some scenarios and you're going to decide whether it's a consumer or a producer, and then you're done. Tomorrow when we come in, we're going to start talking about planning our business and thinking about what type of business we want. You're going to have to come up with the type of business you want: restaurant, store, salon, landscaping company. You're going to have to come up with a name for the business and then a few other things. Until tomorrow, guys, be safe, behave, and be kind.